What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Symposium podcast, hosted by Wright and Rose Gold. Y'all know the vibes over here, man. This is the show where we focus on mental health and other various things. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the marathon. Episode 102 through 104.
Yes, absolutely.
Why is it called the marathon? Because my man's
We've been grinding.
and so you're gonna see us. You're gonna see a lot of us. You're gonna see a lot of the same clothes.
We put in work, man.
Put in some work. Let's talk about
Put
it
in some work. Now, y'all figure it out.
Yeah. For the marathon, y'all gonna see some back-to-back episodes. We're gonna spread them out, but of course you're gonna see them. In episode 102, we got my man's Jake on. He's coming back to give us an update. He is now a father, so he's touching on fatherhood.
Yeah.
He's actually been busy since August. He's been
like
busy.
a complete change.
Yeah, 100%.
Complete change.
So 102, we're focusing on my man. He's touching on fatherhood.
Yeah.
He's touching on his podcast, Don't Evolve Me.
Yeah.
And he's talking about his battle with Crohn's disease, which I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I had no idea.
Yeah.
No clue. So y'all tune into that one.
This is the Symposium podcast with Wright and Romero.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Symposium podcast. On the other side of the chair, way over there, let the people know who you are, sir.
What up, people? Eric Wright, aka Wright, back again with another episode of Symposium podcast. I'll kick it all the way back to my man.
Y'all know what it is over here, man. Rose gold in the building. Got the bangs on me, got the gold on me, got the Hawkins on me. We'll explain that later. In the middle of the chairs, can you remind everybody who you are, sir?
I am Jake Sherman.
Welcome back, Jake.
Thank you.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah.
Been a while, man.
Been a minute.
It's been, what, 9 months?
Holy shit, has it really been that long?
It has. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot going on.
I think episode 72 was the episode, and I don't know what number this is.
Holy fuck, we've come a long way.
Yeah. By the way, post congrats on episode 100.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
It's a big accomplishment.
Thank you, sir.
This is actually 102.
This is 101. How's it 2?
Oh, man. Context clues.
Before we get into anything else, as always, to my man, Jake, to you as well, and to the people, a little too far, so welcome to the party.
Yeah.
little air clinks.
Get it.
You got it?
Cheers.
How is this 101? No, how is this 102?
I'm enjoying this internal debate
Huh?
here.
Yeah.
How is this 102?
Yeah.
Because this was originally 102.
Oh.
101 we'll record.
Oh.
Come on, Romero.
Hey, we're gonna edit this out. Fuck all that.
Go ahead.
We're gonna edit this out.
What is happening today?
I didn't know if we were still gonna do that.
Why not?
This is episode 102. In case y'all wondering, shit is great.
It's gonna be a good episode. Just so y'all know, we are being very productive today, so we are all out of sorts, but we'll get back to it.
And in case
we always do.
If you see a few episodes of us wearing the same clothes, don't worry.
Oh, you
about
will.
It.
You will.
Don't worry about it.
Mind your business.
We're gonna keep it moving. But
Yeah.
this ain't about us. This episode,
Absolutely.
102, is about my man Jake. Jake, hi.
I'm back 30 episodes later.
I know.
I'm glad that we were able to figure that out.
Yeah, finally.
Exactly, yeah, man.
So, since the previous episode, or excuse me, since the last time you were on here, what's been new? What's been going on?
Shit, I got a lot.
Where do you start?
Let's see. Got a daughter, baby girl, 7 months yesterday.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big one.
That's a huge. Said that so
I
casually.
I am now a dad. All right. So that's pretty big in the mental health, aspect of it. I got a podcast myself, big inspiration from you guys. I guess this is where I plug in. I am the host of Don't Evolve Me. Ro here is a regular recurring guest. It's been a few episodes though.
I pop in every now and then.
Yeah.
Say some nonsense.
Nice.
So new show, that's going great. We're about 3 months in. We're 20 episodes in for 3 months, which I feel like that's a lot.
What do you guys talking about?
Yeah, so it's more of like a
I like the name, by the way, because
Thank
I
you.
feel like I know where that came from. But
Yeah.
And I can explain a little bit too. So we're just a casual, I guess the way Tom described it, who, is he going to be 101?
He'll be 103.
103, okay. So you guys will meet him later.
Yeah.
The way he described it is just kind of like a casual nerdy talk show where we just dive into all the nerdy topics.
Is this what you and Tom do this, or just you? Or
Oh, this is me and like several guests. So
okay.
I have Ro come on.
Oh, so it's mainly you, but you just have guests. You just have recurring.
I try to get as many guests as possible
Okay.
on top of recurring guests like
Nice.
Ro here. Ernie comes on often. Tom's been a regular guest these last couple of weeks. And I do weekly review episodes with TV shows that I follow. So like The Mandalorian, The Last of Us. And I have like regular guests who jump on. So
Nice.
I try to make like a huge team of it.
Yeah.
Where like it is like my show, but I try to make
Right.
it as much as a team
Yeah.
as possible. And
Nice.
I have a Discord too, and I try to
Okay.
jump a bunch of ideas. And I have like friends who are like, I want to do that show, I want to do that show.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes I get people like, hey, I want to be an audience member. Usually it's Ro here.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. You just say whatever. You're in the background.
I know, I'm excited to be the audience member for the next couple episodes here.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's see
I'm
what
going to
happens.
be cheering in the background. I pick my spot, see where the audio comes in.
This is good. This is nice. This sounds great. Now, on your show, at least when you and I did it,
Yep.
you and I played a game.
Yes. Okay.
So, I was wondering, can you do that with E to see how that goes?
He's pitching me though, right?
Yep, he's gonna
Okay.
pitch you. But you gotta explain it first.
Oh, I gotta explain.
You gotta explain the
I gotta
game.
explain. I haven't
We
played this
can't
game.
just look. You can't just dive into it and go.
I have no idea what y'all talking about.
I thought you gave a little.
No, he isn't. No, this is a
So
surprise.
I have to pitch him I have the elevator pitch him the segment
Yes,
that he's going to do.
yes.
Okay.
A pitch for a pitch.
I actually bumped the mic.
That happens.
Yeah, I do that often on my show. All right. So elevator pitch. It's been a while since I did this with anyone. I think I've only done it with you.
Oh, nice.
So on one of the first episodes that we did, my first regular episode, I had Romero here pitch me 3 TV shows that I should review on my show.
Oh, that you should review.
Or maybe not necessarily I review on my show, but shows that I should essentially talk about or watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you like recommend shows
Yeah.
for me to watch?
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Right.
So I was trying to have him pitch me anime. He pitched me One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
As I would.
Yeah, I think that's the only show you pitched me. You're like, I got one.
I only got one.
So-
That comes up. That's like sums up all 3.
So I was gonna have him pitch me 3 shows to watch,
Mhm.
or 3 shows I should dive into.
Yeah.
Do you think you got anything on top of your head? And if you just say the title, I'll let you know if I've seen it or
Yeah.
not.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me because I don't know what you like.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, Last of Us,
I
Mandalorian.
haven't watched Last of Us yet. I need to do that.
Oh.
Okay. Let's see. Mayor of Kingstown.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mayor of Kingstown, that's what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah.
All right, pitch it to me.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's what what's his name? Jeremy Renner? He played Hawkeye?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn, I can't. Oh, pitching it, that might be tough, man. Cause I just started as well. But it's a good start. Give you one I can't pitch you.
Okay.
Fuck, when I just get done watching. Man, I watch some stupid shows though, man. I just watch a lot of shows. Damn, that's tough, man. Cause I watch so many shows, and it's like a lot of them are bullshit, but a lot of them are like,
It's tough to do on the spot.
yeah, it's very tough to do on the spot. Cause my mind is like bouncing around. Fuck, what did I just get done watching? Have you seen The Bear?
The Bear?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good one.
The Bear is a good one. So it's the character. It gives you the same vibe as Shameless.
Okay.
So it's the Lip's character.
Okay. I've never seen Shameless actually.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's another one.
There's a few shows that are just like.
You would like Shameless. You would like
I
Shameless.
probably would.
Damn, but you know what it is, right?
I have an idea. I know a lot of people watch it. It's just one of those shows.
Okay, so those would be two that I would
Okay.
suggest. So first, Shameless. I'll go back to Shameless since that's
Okay.
like older. Shameless families from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically like white trash, but like they are really big on their neighborhood and their community, and they like and the mom. I think the mom left, but the dad is still there, but he is useless. Frank Gallagher, he is useless. And the big sister basically is running the family, keeping the family together. But they go through some shit, and it's just a bunch of like, it's just wild. It's a wild show, but it's like it's tight. Like they got which she's taking care of. So it's a white family, but one of the siblings is the little youngest is black, and they don't even know how he's like.
How's he
the
in the
brother,
mix? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But they just take care of each other. Then the neighbors are crazy too, but they're like, it's like a tight knit family. But they go through some shit because the dad, he steals from him. He's homeless, but they took over his home because he was just like his house.
Yeah.
Like it's technically his house, but they won't even let him stay there. Like they but it's tight though. But the sister, she holds him down, man. She's basically doing whatever she got to do to take care of him, and then she gets in some crazy situations. They all do, really. It's just like South Side of Chicago, you know what I mean? So a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, it's just crazy.
And this is more of a sitcom, right? Or is this more serialized?
Oh, it's more of
It's a comedy.
yeah.
There's some.
Yeah, it's like a mix. It's like a good mix.
It's like an episodic, but like
Yeah.
for the most part, it all comes together at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I enjoy those shows where it's like it comes together at the end. It's not
Yeah.
just episode to episode.
Would you consider it
No.
a dramedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I would say drama.
Dramedy.
I would say dramedy, but then to fast forward, the bear. So this is unrelated.
Okay.
But he just plays a similar character.
Oh, okay.
But he's like a master chef. But he's from, I don't even know if it takes place in Chicago. It just looks like it. But his brother died.
Okay.
And his brother had an Italian beef shop.
Okay.
And so he ran it a little different. So now that his brother passed, his cousin was like taking it over, but he came back. The chef came back to take it over.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like, he's used to doing shit up here.
Yep.
And then it's like the shit is being done down here, and he's just keep clashing, and it's hard for him to take that in.
Yeah. So essentially, the chef who ran the shop, he left, and his brother took.
He died.
Okay, he died.
His brother died. Yeah.
Yep.
And then but now he just left him with this mess, basically.
Okay.
And he's trying to like fix it.
Fix it.
And it's a lot going on. But that's another good one.
Okay.
And on the spot, that's all I can think of on the spot right now. I just started Mayor of Kingstown, so I can't give you.
That's fair.
But that would be a good one to check.
Can I pitch one for you?
Absolutely.
Have you watched Barry?
What?
Barry?
Oh, good show. Yeah.
I
Good
feel
shit.
like I have. Did it just come back?
It's coming back in like.
Is Barry the one with the dog?
With the dog? No.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
I mean, there's dogs in it, I think.
No, never mind. I'm thinking of
Okay, so it's an HBO show. It's coming out April. What's the date now? 8th. It's coming out Sunday, so it's either this Sunday or not this Sunday. It's either 2 Sundays from now or it's in mid-April. So Barry, last season. So it's about this hitman who essentially he gets by killing people, and he wants to get out of life. And he finds.
Is it Hater?
Yep, Bill Hader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I do want to watch it.
Okay.
That's one you should watch for sure.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It's like it's a drama.
It's
comedy.
a dramedy.
Yeah.
It's a dramedy, but
Yeah.
it's very high in the comedy. But there's some drama aspects to it. What's really cool about it is he's a hitman who works for this really shady character who is his uncle, and he falls in love with his acting class.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first episode.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did watch this. I did see this. I definitely did. I remember he went to the acting class and he was like, something happened at the car. It was like outside in the car. Yeah, yes, I did see this. I did see this. Damn, now I want to watch it again though because I don't remember.
Have you watched it all the way through?
That's fun.
I don't think so.
Okay, so it gets really crazy because he gets in this acting class. The whole first episode is him. He has to kill somebody in the acting class. Like he has to get on it. And he does it, and then he takes part, and then he just falls in love with this acting class.
Yes.
And he tries to get out of the hitman life and acting, but he can't get out of the hitman life.
Yeah, so I did not finish. Okay.
And so the first 3 seasons is him trying to balance being a hitman as well as like being an established actor with all these characters, and it's just funny how everything intermixes. There's like this one episode where like he has to take out like this guy, and the guy he has to take out is like a karate instructor, and the barrier taking him out is his crazy like feral daughter.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure they won an Emmy because of that episode.
That is like the best episode because it's just.
So I did start that, but I have not finished it. You said it's 3 seasons? I definitely didn't watch 3 seasons.
It's definitely 3 seasons, and the 4th one's coming out.
Okay, yeah. So I'm well behind. So I will watch that.
It's great. It's one of those shows
I did start it. I definitely started. I don't know why I didn't finish it.
I convinced my friend Michael Schumer, who did the Last of Us review with me.
Okay.
He's like, "I have a new show." I'm like, "Hey, this show's coming out soon. You should watch it because it's great. I want to talk about it."
Good shit. Good choices, gentlemen. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. That being the game, let's move on from there.
When did you get him to watch? Because I always try to talk about episodes, and this motherfucker doesn't watch anything.
But see, this is what I say. This is exactly why I said.
It's very disappointing.
I think I pitched Game of Thrones to you.
Well, time
That's too
out.
much.
We made a deal. I told you I would watch an episode of Euphoria if you watch 2 episodes of One Piece.
We did make that deal.
So.
Did you guys? I started One Piece, but I didn't think I started in the right spot though.
I think I need to. Did you ever get? We'll talk about it after. But
wait, did you guys like make the deal happen?
we made a deal.
Yeah. You haven't watched 2 episodes.
Oh no,
He started, but he doesn't know if he started at the right time.
Yeah. I just didn't know.
Did you watch Euphoria?
I'm in the process.
You guys are horrible.
We are.
I want you to understand, like, we've been talking about this for 3 years.
Yes.
3 years. But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. This is the final deal. One Piece, Euphoria. I'm just trying to get my mind ready for it. There's just too much.
It is too much.
It's just too much.
It's a lot.
But yeah.
Have you watched Last of Us yet?
No.
Oh, come on, man. that was whole 9 episodes.
Man.
No.
We can wait 30 more episodes for
30 episodes later. Have you watched any of these shows?
No.
I get it though. There's so much content in the world. There's so much to watch. Like
That's true.
I consider it my job to watch this content now, just because like this is what I talk about. This is what I do for my podcast, and there's just a lot.
Yeah.
Like I want to do like what I call state of reviews. Ro joined me with the MCU version of it, and one of the ones I want to do is Harry Potter, just because I know I want to get back into it. I want to talk about it. I know that there's a huge audience for that show or for that franchise, and I haven't watched like these movies in years. I'm like, that's a whole lot of content that I have to like soak up.
You know what I'm gonna say. If you do Harry Potter, you know who you have to talk to.
There's many people who's going to jump on.
No, it's okay. Sure.
But yes, I know who you're talking.
Okay.
Or talking about.
No names. We won't talk about that person.
Are you gonna watch the Mario movie at all, or have you already saw it?
I have.
You saw it already?
Yeah, we were.
So I almost saw it yesterday, but I didn't want a back-to-back movie. I just felt like that was
Creed?
I did.
Nice.
But at first I was deterred from watching it because I just heard bad reviews. But after a couple people watched it, I heard it's
Creed or Mario?
Mario.
Yeah, Mario's weird because it's one of those like critically, it's right now it's like 52 or 55% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
And, yeah, and I was surprised by that. I'm like, because I won't go into it, but I'm like,
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I'm like, it's.
I feel like it's like nostalgia, you know, like this. What you got to take.
There was a lot of love in the movie. I thought it was a very simple movie. Like,
It was straightforward.
I have a metaphor for it, and I wanted to save it for when me and you did our review.
Okay.
But the metaphor I would have for it is, it's like playing one of the newer 2D Mario games, like like the new Super Mario Bros. It's kind of just, it's very straightforward. You just go on a straight path. There's not much more depth in it. I think originally when they said they were making a Mario movie, I was hoping to be more like a Super Mario 64, where you have time to like soak in the characters and soak in the world a little bit.
Yeah.
This movie's kind of just like, yeah, we're just gonna jump right in. We're gonna just show you this world. And they do a great job with it. The visuals are amazing. The references are all there and like made with love. It could have been a lot more in depth. It could have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like it could have been a better movie, but like for all intents and purposes, it was a good to great kids movie. I feel like that's the best way to describe it.
And I heard this last thing about it. I heard a funny thing. Who's the dude that played in the real movie? Is it John Leguizamo? Am I saying his name wrong?
John Leguizamo? I'm pretty sure. I don't know how to say that. But yeah, he played Luigi in the original.
Yeah, I heard he was mad that he wasn't the voice in this. Because they weren't Italian. That's just weird. That's just like internet shit, but that's just funny to me. And that was just like I guess because they weren't Italian, or they weren't like, didn't get depicted as Italian, I guess.
Just give a solid nod, like, hey, I made a movie. That's awesome.
I will say Chris Pratt was a weird choice.
Yeah.
I think he did a great job with it.
Yeah, but
Because, like, the voice acting in it, I actually, for the most part, enjoyed all the voice cast. I thought they did, for the most part, a pretty good job. There was one character, I don't know if it's spoiler to talk about, DK's dad.
Yeah, what about him? Who plays him?
I forget his name. Well, I'll just say it because it's going to be a few weeks after this movie. Cranky Kong. The guy wasn't cranky. Like, he just seemed like a normal dude. I'm like, I'm expecting like an old cranky, but that's the only complaint that I have for voices.
Mine is different. I give that movie. First I was giving that movie like a 11 out of 10, but then thinking about it, I do a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
9 out of 10. The only reason that I say 9 out of 10 is because I think they could have found somebody better to voice Donkey Kong.
You know, like Seth Rogen?
It doesn't match up. But see, I had this conversation this morning with Danny G. Is like, with Donkey Kong, I was expecting somebody to have like a deeper voice and a little bit of swagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Funny.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she was like, yeah, but that couldn't happen because, let's say if they got a black person, there would be backlash. Because and I was like,
they could have a swaggy white person though.
Touche.
That makes sense.
Give me a name. I agree with you, but who?
Swaggy. I don't know, because I was leaning more towards like a funny black dude, but yeah, that would make sense.
See?
Mm-hmm. But
that's probably what they thought, and they were like, "There's no way we're
hell
gonna do that."
I didn't mind Seth Rogen. Like, at first when they cast it, I'm like, man, I'm just gonna hear Seth Rogen the entire time. But I felt like it worked with this DK.
If I had to choose, y'all know who Will Arnett is, right?
Yeah.
I would have chosen him. Like, if I couldn't get somebody that I really wanted, I would want Will Arnett.
I agree with that. That was a good choice.
Yeah. So you should see it. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nostalgic.
I plan on it.
Chris Pratt, I honestly have no problem with as Mario.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job.
He did good. Same with Luigi. I was like, I have no qualms with.
I mean, I just enjoyed Charlie Day any day. Also, Jack Black, shout out to him. He probably had the best performance in the whole movie.
I'd agree with that. I don't know. I liked all the voices. I liked everybody. Toad was fucking funny. Toad was hilarious.
I don't even think that was, I forget the guy's first name, Keegan Peele?
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, Keegan. I didn't think, I knew he voiced him, but I didn't hear his voice. Whereas like the other actors, I heard their voices a lot.
He was a funny Donkey Kong, but...
See, that's what I thought he was going to play, but it turned out he was Toad. And I was like, mean, I could do either or, but it works. So, yeah, go see it. It's good.
I'll definitely will. I wanted to jump back. Reviews aside.
Yeah.
You mentioned just having a daughter, but we didn't we just kind of went over that.
Cash.
We can get into mental health.
I forgot you were on the show before your daughter was
that's
born.
what I was like. But you mentioned it before we even started recording. You said something about your daughter, and I'm just kind of like, did he have a daughter when we met? How is that? Like, how is fatherhood?
It's a lot of things. I enjoy all of it.
Yeah.
It's a cool experience because like I had my stepson.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So I do remember that. That's why I'm like, I know he had a kid, but I don't remember he had a daughter.
But like it's weird because like having your own kid, your own biological kid, is different, and it's different in a way you just don't understand.
Yeah.
So I remember the first day she was born, and or not the first day she was born, but the day we were finally able to take her home. One of the things I noticed is driving on the way. I was very like aware of every danger around.
Yeah.
You know, like this girl, she's in her car seat. I was just like, all right, danger here, danger here, danger here. And like on the way home, and it was only like a 5-minute drive from like the hospital to my house. But like on the way here, I'm like, man, if anyone gets in my way, I have no problem to like take them out.
Yeah.
And it's
your me.
And that goes away a little bit, you know, especially like the first day you're like, you know, in protective mode. The first couple of weeks you're like, you know, you carry the baby, you're very like gentle with it. After you know, a few weeks, few months, you're like, oh, okay, this baby's fine. Like I remember when my sister first met her, it was a couple of months. She lives in the Fargo Moorhead area, and it was just funny because they were all like, oh man, the baby, we got gently put her in the swing. And I'm like, I got it. I'm like, there you go. No problem.
Yeah.
No, it is great. I will say the last couple of weeks. So I've been more of a stay-at-home dad the last couple of weeks, and it's just been, the reasons for it is unfortunate, but the huge benefit is I'm seeing her grow so much.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool thing to see, and I feel fortunate and lucky to see this growth. She's 7 months as of yesterday. She's starting to crawl. She's starting to learn the world. She's she's very observant. Just hilarious. She loves my 2 cats. If she sees a cat, she's just like, ah. She's like, that's how she tells us like how what she wants. So before she was able to crawl, she would flip on her stomach, she'll see a cat and just scream, ah, because she just wants the cat, but she's not able to get it. Now she's army crawling. It's not quick quite yet. Yeah. But no, it's a great feeling. Being a dad feels great.
Still, man. How does that cut into your gaming time?
Gaming time?
Is it late nights? Because you're already late night gaming, right?
Yeah, late night gaming, late night watching TV shows. Not too bad actually.
Not too bad.
I would say the toddler's a little bit more because he's like, you know, pay attention to me, let's play, let's do this. But he's also getting into video games too. So
nice.
But he's very like, hey, I want to play Super Mario, and then he gets bored of it. He's like, I want to play Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to play, I just want to watch you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but no, baby girl, she's honestly a very easy, content baby. I put her on the ground, she's crawling around. She'll let me know when she's hungry because she'll just yell at me. She'll just look and go, ah. I'm like, all right, you're either, you know, hungry, you need to go to bed, or you're just upset that you're on the ground, you're not with us.
She's very smiley. She's very, very smiley.
Yeah.
Cute baby.
Typically. She's either really smiley or she just stone-faced stares at people.
At the Christmas party?
Yeah. That's what she was yesterday at my family. She was just like, you know, we were making sausages, venison sausages. And so I had a bunch of family members, grandmas, aunts, uncles, cousins, and a lot of faces that she just hasn't seen.
Yeah.
And so she'll just stare blankly at them like, what's going on? And then she'll just like look at me like, Dad, help Dad, help. She did at the Christmas party the entire time. She's like, Dad, help, save me. This random person's holding me and they're trying to make me smile and I don't want to.
Just kind of looking around like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So, it's funny.
But yeah, no, generally, every time when I first see her, there's a smile and a happy dance with it. And so every morning, she'll just like be cooing or awing or crying, and then I'll look over in her bassinet and she's just like, and then she's happily kicking away, and I'm like, it's just a great feeling, like, I get greeted with a smile every morning.
Yeah.
Unless she's asleep, then I get a stone face. Like, she's very much your mom. Like, don't wake her up; she'll get mad at you.
Shout out to Sapphire. What was I gonna ask you? So, kind of switch gears here. You mentioned being a stay-at-home father, and that's due to unfortunate events. But
yeah, we can dive into that if you want to. There's a whole
that is your business. What you want to share on the pod is entirely up to you. But
I'm an open book, man. You know me.
I want to focus on what you and I were talking about. What you said to me earlier, that your philosophy has changed when it comes to life. Can you touch on that?
Yeah. So there's a lot of context I have to get into, though.
Whatever you decide to share, man, that's up to you.
All right. First, I wanted to say I'm I'm very happy that I'm a guest and not a host.
Yeah.
It feels nice where I can just sit back and, have the questions come my way and I don't have to worry with the conversation. I just had to shout that out. All right. So back the last week of February. So I know our first episode we talked about ADHD. Another thing that I also deal with is Crohn's disease. For those who don't know what Crohn's disease is, it's basically your whole digestive system, not the whole digestive system, but it's inflamed. And that causes a whole lot of complications. Anywhere from, right now I'm dealing with it like canker sores or sores in the mouth, all the way to acid reflux, gastritis, pain, abdominal pain in the stomach, and then all the issues on the bottom end of things. And so I was diagnosed in January 2022. Been dealing with problems for like 4 or 5 years now. Finally got diagnosed. And for the most part I take this medicine called Remicade. And it's very similar to kind of like chemo. It's like radioactive stuff. I have to go in for 3 hours every like 4 to 6 weeks. And I was starting January, they upped my dose, doing great, doing wonderful. A lot of my symptoms went away, and then out of nowhere, woke up one morning, a lot of pain, severe pain. Ended up having to go in the hospital. They found a foreign object, which I still don't know to this day what that foreign object is. I joked that it's aliens. Ro joked that I got probed. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. Whole group text.
Yep. So I was out in the hospital for 4 or 5 days. Got out that very night, the day I got out, ended up in pain. So I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And my whole philosophy kind of changed because when I was working, it was very much like survival mode. Working in the mental health facility or in the field. I mean, you probably get this working in school. There's a lot of burnout. There's a lot of energy. Yeah. And it doesn't pay the greatest. It's especially with this economy, with the way inflation is. It was very much like just money-wise, like one, mentally being burnt out, money-wise, you're barely hanging in this paycheck to paycheck. And so when I got hospitalized, knowing I was going to be out for a week, I kind of was just like, all right, I am now, like, I feel broke. Like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. The way I describe it to Romero is I feel like I'm circling this drain, and like survival is circling this drain, worrying about going in the hole. And as soon as I was hospitalized, I fell in the hole. My whole philosophy changed when I was in the hospital because like I'm in the hole now. I am now not worried about going in the hole. I'm in the hole. And it was a relief. It sucked being in the hospital. It sucked, dealing with the pain.
It was a relief.
It was a relief not being in that cycle of going around the hole.
Okay.
That daily like burnout, that daily. And I was doing a lot of prep for the show. I was still working hard trying to get the podcast going.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of like prep, and I was watching a lot of shows. One of the two shows I was watching, one being The Last of Us, that was weekly, and the other show I was watching, I was trying to catch up on, was Star Wars Andor. And there was this theme going on between these two shows, and the big theme with this was survival was not enough. So in Last of Us, it's all about survival, and there's this agency called Fedra, and they're very fascist, very like, you work hard to get as much food rations as you can, and it seems like everyone's just kind of a prisoner of the moment. Or a prisoner of this fascist regime, but like the other answer to like, okay, we can either do this or we can die. And another episode, the third episode, it's the Bill and Frank episode. It's huge, arguably one of the greatest episodes of television ever. Like it's a 5 on my rating scales that I use for Don't Involve Me. It's a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Well, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest shows of television. You don't even have to watch the other episodes. If you just watch that episode, it's just a really beautiful story. And the whole point of that episode was like these two individuals, they're surviving, but one individual, he's like one of these conservative survivalist conspiracy theory person. Like he's thriving in this. He's the crazy dude who has a bunker, who like, he doesn't have a bunker in the show, but like, imagine a crazy dude with a bunker with all the rations and weapons, like he's prepared for the apocalypse. But you have a character like that, and then you have this other character, his name's Frank, who's all about like, making things more beautiful, be more artsy. And so it's a love story between those two, and his whole argument is like, if we're just living to survive, what's the point?
Yeah.
And so he's like, he made this base out of this town. He's like, I want to fix up the other houses within our like fences. We're gonna make everything beautiful. We're gonna make gorgeous food. We're gonna plant gorgeous food. We're gonna trade some of the things that we use to survive for like things like strawberry seeds, so we can taste strawberries again. So that's one of the themes of that show is just like, survival isn't good enough. We need to live for other things, other pleasures.
So is that your new? What exactly is your new philosophy?
Yeah. So let me talk on Andor a little bit too, because it also plays in the whole thing.
Is Andor the other show?
Andor, yeah, Star Wars Andor. Also a 5 out of 5. That show's freaking amazing. It's almost so good that it doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's a Star Wars show, but it's like, it's so good. I'm like, this doesn't need to be a Star Wars show.
So how's that correlate?
Yeah, so that correlates to, because like that takes place too when Empire is at its strongest, and it shows all these different worlds where everyone's kind of just, it is reminiscent of our society where everyone's working hard, but everyone's kind of suppressed.
Yeah.
Like, they're working hard for a very minimal gain. And it just kind of gets in that place where like everyone is suppressed, everyone is, essentially living under fascists, and no one's really happy. It's, we're just working hard to get by to the next day. And so my whole philosophy changed, where it's like, I am now in this hole.
Yeah.
I am now financially in this hole. I don't have to worry about the survival end of it, but I will get out of this hole. But when I get out of this hole, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I really do not want to keep circling this drain.
Right.
And so my philosophy just kind of changed, where like, okay, how do I stop from continually surviving? Because I don't feel like it's enough. So I'm now trying to get out of this hole. I'm trying to figure out ways to thrive. Thrive instead of survive.
Yeah, I like that.
And setting up a way, because I feel like in general, you're always going to be circling that hole, but like, how do I get further away? How do I get to the point where like, I'm not worried about circling this drain. I can just, if I take a break, if I relax, if something bad happens, I have space before I fall back in.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah. And so that's kind of just where my philosophy changes. Like, all right, this isn't enough anymore. I need to break this cycle.
So it took you like to go through something to like finally like realize that like you you were just because I feel the same way actually, like just trying to live to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it kind of just took you through like you going through that change. I was like, all right, boom, here I am.
Yeah.
And like, damn, like, it's just like you see it differently now.
Mm-hmm. Me, like, man, I'm like 10 out of 10 pain in a hospital, and I'm feeling relief because I don't have to go to my job.
Yeah.
Like, I got a break.
Yeah.
And like that shouldn't be a thing.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the realization I came into, and then just going further into it, like, I ended up losing my job too anyway. So now I'm in the position
because you couldn't go back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and we won't go into details. We won't go into details, but I ended up losing my job, and now I'm, at this point where like, okay, now I, have to change. Now I have to, I can't go back to what it was, and it's weirdly those like, I accepted it when I went into the hospital that week. I was like, I accepted every possibility because I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's worse, being in the hole or circling the hole.
Right.
If I can chime in, this is very interesting actually, because this is something that I thought about with you when all of that stuff took place.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the conversations that we've had about, tending to Crohn's and what it was like at your previous job, and then, fast forward to what has taken place in recent time, I was like, all right, so what's going to happen to him next? Because it just seems like he's in that cycle, like it's a pattern of things.
Yeah.
And so for you to have this change in philosophy, it sounds like it's exactly that. It's not only that you're trying to go from surviving to thriving, you're trying to break a cycle in a way.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly, because this is actually the second year in a row where I lost my job. Literally the same week, the same day.
Shut the fuck up! You're joking.
Yeah, the Wednesday before March Madness, which if I'm gonna ever lose my job, like I guess it's like hard. Like okay,
don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm like, I'm sad that I'm gonna watch all these basketball games.
Right.
Oh no.
But so yeah, like. So one of the reasons why I even started this podcast, Don't Involve Me Too, is I noticed that there is a cycle, there is this thing that's going on where like, hey, between my Crohn's, which I actually would talk about this in an episode of like, why am I doing this? Mm-hmm. So I had an episode, it was a mini episode that I did where I kind of like explained what my goal is with the show and what I'm trying to do. I've noticed that there's this pattern where working with Crohn's is hard because I don't have an immune system with this medicine that I take.
Oh, pause. Had to let in our next guest. Don't worry about who it is. You'll see him in a little bit. He's chilling in the background right now, doing his thing. But back to you. We're talking about you breaking the cycle, going from surviving to thriving.
Oh, right.
In March Madness.
That was a good recap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the best week to get fired is March Madness, twice in a row now. Hey, I mean, like, it is really nice because it's like, hey, I'm sad, but I'm gonna now watch all these games of basketball and enjoy myself. 2 years in a row now. But yeah, it's notice it is a cycle, and so I was trying to figure out like, how do I break this cycle? What can I do? Because I also have ADHD as well, as we talked about in the previous episode. And when you have ADHD, it's really hard to work underneath people. It's hard to do a 9-to-5 job. It's hard to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. I mean, last job was really nice because like working with kids, it's always different. It's always switching it up. But it's just hard to find a job that works well because I don't remember if I explained the job life with ADHD. But it's just after like a year or so, it's hard to continue with it just because I get bored. And when I get bored, it's kind of like I'm silent quitting, but it's not silent quitting. It's just one of those, it's hard to wake up and then be motivated to do more than what is expected of you.
It's like a silent routine almost taking place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just kind of realized with having ADHD, having Crohn's, having seen the cycle, it's like, okay, I kind of want to build my own thing where I'm the boss that I can do when I have the worst Crohn's days. And today was actually a bad Crohn's day. I woke up, I'm pretty sure someone gave me a bug, didn't feel the greatest, but like coming here, recording, working on the show, it's not hard. It's something I can very much do on the worst of days. As well as with having ADHD, running my own show, running my own, what I want to do is run my own network of shows with, you know, a team of people. That's very much something that I would love to do challenges every day.
Yeah.
Even if I get bored, I'm like, I can just make a new show, new segment, I can make new things. And so, yeah, that's one of those, the unfortunate part, it takes time.
Yeah.
So being thrown into the hole, it's like, I can't rely on, you know, podcasting content creating to get myself out of the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But long term is something I'm looking forward to do.
Okay, that's what's up. As much as I would love to continue this conversation, we gotta wrap it up. I think this is a good spot.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thank you for sharing your story, sir, and
Yeah.
your new philosophy. We'll do last call. You've been on the show, so you already know what last call is. So
You might need to remind me a little bit.
last call is where we give our final thoughts, basically, like reflecting on all of the conversations that have taken place in the episode. So I can kick this one off. You know, for you to talk about not only having a new philosophy, but just having this mindset of, instead of surviving, you want to thrive.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful, and at the same time, it's hard for me to not wonder if that's something that everybody experiences as we get older. And it's hard to say because everybody goes through life in a different way, right? But I don't know. Usually when I talk to people who are in their 30s, something has happened to them that makes them go, oh, shit's gotta change.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for you, but I also wonder, I'm like, is this a you thing? Is this a small thing? Or is this like I don't know, just for America, I'll say a culture thing. Because you've gone through this shit too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was like, damn, when he said that, it instantly clicked. That's why I asked, like, what was it, like something like traumatic happening, or like, you know, to like make you realize that.
It's
Tom, have you had some shit like that happen?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
Absolutely.
like almost like a midlife crisis of sorts. I don't know if I would describe it as a midlife crisis because it's more personal, but I feel like everyone kind of deals with that moment. It's like, all right, I've just had enough of this shit. Like something needs to change because I'm done.
Yeah. So that's about where I'm at. It seems like everybody kind of has that moment. So I guess my final thought is, I hate to say it, but have that moment. Because if you feel as though you're just going through the motion, something needs to change. So pay attention to it and have that moment. What about you, gentlemen? What do you got?
I like ego.
I mean, you said a bunch for like, just like you said, have that moment. So I guess my final thought, it's more not a thought, more so my final question to you. With all that going on, like you're saying, well, last two questions, you say you know, like you felt relieved.
Yeah.
When that happened, are you still, like, where are you at with that now that you've had some time to kind of sit with that? Where are you at?
Good question.
That was actually a good question. That's actually what I was going to touch upon on. With everything happening, I feel like it would be very easy to be in a negative spot. And there's definitely those days where, like, depression and the anxiety of the whole situation, like, sinks in. But I think for the most part, I kind of look at it as more a positive light. Like, I'm out of that cycle. I'm at the worst end of it, but I'm out of the cycle that was making me tired. I now have to change. I now have to do something different.
Okay.
And the way I look at it is, a closed door is also an open door.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for it's scary, but I'm also excited for the open door possibilities. And I'm excited to be forced to go through that change and be forced to thrive. Because I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive.
Yeah.
I heard the title.
Yes. That was,
And also,
I knew it was gonna be something along those lines. So that's great.
but I also just having moments to spend time with my kids, see my daughter grow. Like
That's awesome.
I've had a lot of daycare closed a lot, so I had like 5, 6, 7 days of just being home with them.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thankful for that.
Thankful, yeah.
So it's a lot of negatives, but
Yeah.
I
Find a positive in that.
yeah, I find myself being a more optimistic, positive
Yeah.
person, and I don't hate this experience as much as I thought I was going to.
That's
And
really good.
my last thing from about, let's say 2 to 3 years, where's Don't Evolve Me?
I hope Don't Evolve Me is thriving. In 2 to 3 years, I hope we have a network of shows, not just like 1 or 2, 3 shows. And yeah, I hope Don't Evolve Me in 2 to 3 years is the job. I hope it's just my career at that point. That's the hope. That's the hope. That's the goal.
Yeah.
2 to 3 years, Don't Evolve Me is what I'm doing for a living.
Okay.
And even if it's not being rich, it's not being famous, it's just something that gets me by where I can live off of it. That would be the hope.
That's good.
Gotcha. That's all I got, man.
All right. I think I answered my last call with your questions. So
Okay.
I don't know if I have any more.
Okay. All right. Well, E, bring us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. That was an amazing episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed you coming on and
Yeah, thanks for
and
having
share
me.
your truths, man, and just speak what what you're about. We'd like to thank Jake for coming on again. Sorry it took so long, but I'm glad to see that you got your stuff moving. We talked about it on the podcast, and then it was random. Rose just like, oh yeah, Jake started talking. I'm like, what? I didn't even know. So it was pretty cool. That was cool to hear, man. So thank you for coming on. Thank you guys for tuning in, checking us out. This is episode 102.
102.
That's Rose Gold. I'm E. Wright. We are the Symposium Podcast. Remember, anything that costs you your mental health is too expensive.
Appreciate y'all.
We out.
We out.